Today I'm going to do a little demo for you on trackwrestling.com to hopefully make your tournament experience a little bit better, help you navigate the system a little bit better. So the first thing that we want to do is open up a web browser. Now we need to get to Track Wrestling Mobile, not the desktop version of Track Wrestling. So if you notice, I typed Track Wrestling here in the top. The top one that comes up is trackwrestling.com. I want Track Mobile. So the one that says TW Mobile is the one that I want, the second one down. So I'm going to click on that TW Mobile, not the top one. Now that I'm here, if it's the first tournament of the season, I like to add this screen to my home screen so it's easy for me to get to it quickly. I'm using an iPhone. I don't know if Android has this feature, but it probably does. But on an iPhone, that button on the bottom middle of the screen, it's that square with an arrow pointing upward. If I click on that, it's going to give me the option to add to home screen. If I click that add to home screen, there it's that square with a plus. It's going to open this up. twmobile.com. It's going to add that to my home screen. Now, I've already done that, so it's right there in my top left. It added that to my home screen. Now, I've tried to make this shortcut a little better, like if you were to get into the event and then add it to your home screen, for some reason it just kicks you back to this screen every time. So this is about the most efficient and the quickest way to add a shortcut to get into the tournament. And throughout the day, it's probably going to kick you out every so often if you're not using the browser like all the time. It'll kind of time itself out, and then you'll have to log back in. It's kind of a pain. So throughout the day, you'll probably have to go back to this screen a number of times. But I'm going to try to help you maybe not have to do that as much. So we'll click on tournaments. Now the tournament that I'm looking for is going to be the Bonners Ferry Folk Style Tournament. If we click the search, that red search button, now there's a search bar there where I can type in Bonners. And it doesn't have to be the whole thing. I just kind of use the least amount of characters I think I can get away with and still find the event. There's probably not a whole lot of tournaments in the country with the name Bonners in it, so I feel pretty good about just doing that. Yeah, there we go. Bonners Ferry Folk Style North Idaho Wrestling League. I'm going to go ahead and hit that blue enter button. Gets me in the event. Now from here, you want to figure out which bracket your child is in. So there's a couple of different ways to do it. This has been a pretty good way for me to find it, is if I go to event menu, that blue bar across the top of the screen. If I just click right on event menu, right on the words, a menu is going to open up. And I'm going to click on the bottom one, which is teams. It's going to list all the teams that were at the event. I'm going to click on Lakeland Hawks. And then I'm going to find my wrestler. I'm not sure how it sorts it. It sorts it by team points right now because the event's over. But at the beginning of the event, it should be in alphabetical order, so it'll be easy to find your child. Let's say Cohen Lowmiller is the kid I want to keep an eye on. I can see that his weight class is 71B. Okay, intermediate 71B. It's Cohen Lowmiller. Well, if I click on the 71B, that blue link, it's going to take me to his bracket. This is a pretty quick way to get to his bracket because that's what I want to see. And now I know he's in 71B, and I don't have to scroll through all the brackets trying to find him. So I click 71B. It's going to pull up all the wrestlers that are in his bracket, okay, which is not what I'm concerned about. I want to see the bracket. So if I click that Pages button at the top, that black bar, it'll drop down a menu that has some options, and bracket is what I'm looking for. So if I click on bracket, it gives me this. I can click on view bracket, and then it pulls up his bracket. Now this tournament's already completed, so this bracket's complete, but a few things I want to make note of here. In our league this year, we're going with each bracket will be on the same mat all day long. So this intermediate 71B is on mat 3 all day long. In the top right, it shows me mat 3. Now the bout numbers should coincide with the mat number. So they all start with a 3, and we just start them at 3,000. So the first match up on mat number 3 is bout 3001. Now Cohen, his first match is going to be, he has a bye in his first round, so that there's no bout number there. But his first actual match is going to be bout 3019. If he wins, his second match will be bout 3038, which would be in the finals, and that would be his last match of the day. Let's say Cohen were to lose in his first match, okay? So he wrestled Rusty Caudill in his first match. Cohen won, so Rusty lost. Rusty went to the consolation side of the bracket. And so Rusty's match, his second match, is going to be 3029. So you can see where Rusty ended up dropping onto the consolation side. So now Rusty's second match is 3029. So if you're Rusty, you want to make note of that match. But we're paying attention to Cohen, so we know about 3019 and 3038. I think it'd be a good idea to screenshot this. So if you do want to take a look at it later, you don't have to navigate through and find the bracket. You can have it in your camera roll. So screenshot that, save it in your camera roll, and then you can refer back to it later without having to navigate through with a bad service in the gym. So now we got some things that we needed to know. We can go back to the event. So I go back to the Bonners Ferry tournament. I'm going to click on event menu again, that blue bar across the top. And then I'm going to click on the top one, which is the hub. Now this event was ran yesterday, so there is a selection that is not available at this time. It's called mat assignments, which is where I want to go. But since the tournament's not running right now, that option's not there. I did take some screenshots to show you what that would look like. So here's when you go back. When the event is running, this is going to be the event hub menu. If you click on mat assignments, it's that one that has the 1, 2, 3. It will take you to a option right here that has mat schedule, team schedule, and weight schedule. The mat schedule is going to list all the mats and who's wrestling on the mat, the up and out, on deck, and in the hole for every mat in the tournament. The team schedule, you can sort by team, so it will show you your team members on what mats they are on. And then obviously the weight schedule, you could just select a specific weight and you can kind of monitor when those are up. And an event like this that's set up how we set the Bonners Ferry tournament up yesterday, the best way for you to monitor mat number 3, which if you're Cohen, that's the mat you care about, you would click on mat schedule, because you want to keep an eye on the bout numbers that mat 3 is on. So you click mat schedule, the top one, and it'll take you to an event, take you to a window that looks like this. Now this event is a different event. Not quite ran the same style. You can kind of tell because the bout numbers are not in perfect numerical order. But you would monitor mat number 3. So the green is who's wrestling right now. The yellow is who is on deck, and the white is who's in the hole. Now, if you're Cohen, you're going to look at mat number 3, and you're going to keep an eye on those bout numbers. And we know that he's bout number 3019. So you can decide at what point you want to go down there, but about 3014, he probably should think about getting ready, getting down close to the mat so he can be ready when it's his turn. And then if he wins, he's going to be about 3038, which means it's the 38th match on mat 3 that day. So if he wins, he knows he's up again in 19 more matches. And roughly, depending on match lengths and things, it's right around 5 minutes. If they're like 3 1-minute periods, it's right around 5 minutes per match. So you can kind of do the math to figure out if he were to win, he's got 19 matches ahead of him. How much time does that give him to kind of rest, go get some food, and get ready for his next match? And then he knows what mat he's on. And it should be easy for everybody, the parents, grandparents, to make sure that they don't miss Cohen's match or have to shuffle around the gym to figure out what mat he's on. So there's a lot of other things in track you could poke around on, but if you're new to it and you're just trying to make sure that your kid is taken care of and you don't miss any matches, this is going to be the best way to do it. So I hope that helped.